We know there are many choices in internet radio, and the staff and host of LA Talk Live would like to thank you for choosing the internet's hottest destination for the most eclectic sound and invigorating talk. This is LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Trisha Mann Grant.
And I am Tony Grant.
And we are The Grants.
Yeah.
And Rosina Williams, who is my partner in crime. She is not with us today, but you all, lift up in prayer and send her some hugs and love through the air because, she wasn't feeling that great today. But we know she's going to be better. You understand?
Yeah, boot camp. It'll do it to you.
Boot camp? Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, Ro. He just threw you under the bus and we just got started. It hasn't even been 30 seconds. And we saw you earlier, because we had to pick up some things and you had on our Dallas Cowboy colors. So we just want to thank you for representing Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, we're proud of her.
So proud of you.
Yeah, because she's been recruited, right?
Yes.
Is she coming to this house?
You've been converted.
Yeah. She's probably in front of the computer about to just pass out right now. What is she, baby? Steelers? Is she a Steelers fan?
Something like that.
Something like that? I don't know. Is it Steelers? Yeah, that's you, Van Eric.
Yeah. What?
I don't know. We forget what you are, Ro, because you were wearing Dallas Cowboys colors, so you're with us today.
Yes.
All right.
And we have it on ourselves too.
You do, and I must say, you look mighty fancy, Mr. Grant.
Well, thank you so much. Wow. I must say, Mrs. Grant, you look absolutely stunning.
Are we sickening y'all?
Yes.
I love it. Gospel Rhythms in the house. I'm so excited to be here because we have a fantastic guest with us. But before I get to him, I would like to thank Rory Darvell, because you, my brother, always sit in for me when you can in your busy schedule.
Yeah.
One of your best friends.
One of my favorite people in the world, Rory. Yeah.
These two, I don't know what it is about you and Rory, but y'all,
yeah.
So Rory, thank you. He's probably one of the most supportive people that I know out here in Los Angeles, California.
Yes, he supports everybody too. That's what's amazing.
He really does. He does. So
gives everybody love.
Yeah, we love you. And wow, hey everybody, we're not just in LA, but we would like to say hello to everybody in Australia and Germany and France and South America and Africa and everyone all over this entire beautiful globe. We just want to say thank you for tuning in to gospelrhythms.com and LA Talk Live. This is definitely LA Talk Live, you guys. America Talk Live these days, right?
Yeah.
All right. Van Eric is with us too. He is the man behind the scenes, but he is the man in charge. And we just thank you, Van Eric. We thank you, Van. We're going to have you talk a little bit later too.
Yes, sir.
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Gloria Morrow.
Dr. Gloria Morrow.
For those in LA that know Dr. Gloria Morrow,
amazing.
She is having a birthday today, and she is absolutely beautiful. So you just want to give a little happy birthday snippet, Mr. Grant.
We want to give you love, Dr. Gloria Morrow. I mean, if you don't know Dr. Gloria Morrow, then you don't live in LA. So we just want to say happy birthday, Dr. Gloria Morrow. I know my wife is waiting on me to sing something.
I am.
But I'm just going to continue to talk and say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, as she put me in my key, to you. Happy birthday, Dr. Gloria. Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
we love you.
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, Mr. Grant.
I want to thank you.
I want to thank you.
No,
hey.
thank you.
Thank you. No,
you.
You. Okay, so look here. This man right here is on Tyler Perry's Love Thy Neighbor, which is on the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Yes.
And so we have to give some love to Tyler Perry, to Oprah Winfrey,
for
giving
Love
me
Thy
a
Neighbor,
job, for giving him a job. Thank you.
Hallelujah.
You don't understand. Thank you. Because I was shopping at Cache until they just closed down all the stores all across the country. What the world? What the world, Cache? That was like one of my favorite stores. This is a Cache ensemble.
Yeah, you're not going to Bloomingdale's, are you? Because they're going to close that down, too.
Oh, don't say
all
that.
Right.
Don't say it. All right. So, anyway, I want to thank you for making that possible, Mr. Tyler Perry. So anyway, your show is starting back. You have a new season. It is.
Actually, we have a new season coming up in June, and then I'm going back into production the 1st of May to film more episodes. God is good.
Right. And for all the
Yes.
LTN fans out there, that stands for Love Thy Neighbor. I know you're wondering what's coming next. Can you give us anything, or is it a big secret?
Well, if you tuned into the last episode, I serenaded Linda into saying that she will marry me, but that remains to be seen if it happens or not. So you got to tune in for the new season coming up. Yeah, in June.
Right.
All right.
Okay, right. Now, let me tell you something. I enjoy working with this man. We just came off of stage in Richmond, Virginia, which we will be returning there soon within
That's
another
correct.
month or so.
Yes.
So all you Richmond, Virginia people out there, look out for Bound and Gagged by Shannon Wren.
Yes, Shannon Wren. And
Shannon.
it is a truly a blessed play. I know when you hear the words bound and gagged, you think negative or something else. Nevertheless,
it's not. You too, Tyrone's over here like, yeah. All right, so I know.
it's not that.
We were in the airport saying, okay, so when you hear the title Bound and Gagged, what do you think? So the responses were quite interesting, especially
Yes.
Richmond, Virginia, because you
Yes.
guys, from what I understand, are very conservative in Richmond, Virginia. But I can tell you something, that this play has mad ministry and messages, especially for people, not just women in particular, but people, period, who have been in abusive relationships. Because I always, my heart goes out to the men as well, because believe it or not, there are men out there in verbally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually abusive and physically abusive relationships.
Yes.
And that's because they've been raised and taught not to hit a woman back. I'm not into any kind of abuse, but
Me neither. Roll. Stop talking about the Steelers to me.
okay.
I can't take the abuse
That's
no
abusive.
more.
Don't abuse my husband. You can't do that. That's my job. You don't do that. So I must say that you did play my abusive husband.
Ooh wee.
He was quite convincing.
Wow.
It was a little scary, y'all.
I had to pray and
Wow.
apologize all at the same time after that show. No, I mean really, because it was very intense.
Yeah.
Very intense show, and a character I've never played before. But God showed up. Yes, He did. He showed up and showed out, and it was a blessed play for everybody involved. I think the audience really enjoyed it as well. So, Richmond, Virginia, we're coming back.
That's right. And we also want to give some love to Toussaint Duchess, TDE
Yes.
Entertainment. We will be in
Yes.
Jacksonville, Florida on
That's
the
right.
19th
That's
of
right.
April this month, you guys.
That's right.
Doing a TDE production. And the wonderful thing about Toussaint Duchess Entertainment is that she feeds you for free. And I'm not just talking about any kind of food, y'all. This is the Potter House Bistro food. And it is absolutely amazing and incredible. I'm
good.
talking about shrimp and
Shrimp and
grits.
grits,
Baby, you remember
Lord
those
Jesus.
shrimp
I
and
do.
grits?
I remember them. I can't wait to get back and get some more.
And I know, me too,
I just
right?
put y'all on blast
Just
right there. I want the
food.
shrimp
Oh,
and grits.
so good. So anyway, you got to come 3 o'clock, get the food, and then 5 o'clock for the show. We may
Yes.
have 2 shows,
We
but
may
let's
have
just
2.
stick with the 5 o'clock right now because we don't have confirmation on that. But Toussaint, thank you for letting us be a part of something miraculous, which has
Yes.
been wonderful. It's like the Christian version of Scandal, sort of, on stage
That's right.
live. You know, because we got a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot of drama. It's really a lot of drama. Yes,
But
it
every
is.
month is a new episode.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part about it. And this is episode 3
It
coming up.
is. I'm concerned. I mean, Toussaint, you
Really?
coming up with this
Yeah.
drama, it got me concerned a little bit. Brother Roy, all right, we're going to talk when I get there,
Yeah,
Reverend.
we're going to have a conversation, Brother Roy. All right. Before we get to Tyrone Dubois, who is in the
Yes,
house with us,
special
because
guest
he
today.
is wonderful. I'm so excited to talk to him. And then we're going to go to break real quick. But let's talk about Pastor Arlen
wow.
Sanchez at the Covenant Church. And we went to service today. And, I mean, it was
It was fantastic.
phenomenal.
It was. It was. He was coming. Was speaking concerning the fig tree that Jesus cursed and said that would grow no more. But he explained the purpose for that was talking about change and talking about you have to let some things go that just don't grow. And things that are in your life that you've held on to and you keep trying to make it work over and over and over. And God is trying to move you into another destination, another level of life, and you just won't let it go so that He can get you there.
That's right. That goes for relationships, friendships,
Business relationships.
dead business relationships, all kinds of things that are in our lives, habits, addictions.
Contacts in your cell phone.
Please, Jesus. Get rid of them contacts.
Let them go.
Get rid of some of them text messages, photos, and things. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't play. Don't
Come
get
on,
all
let's just
holy
keep it
on
real
me now.
on
Let's
this.
just keep
This
it
is
real.
called Gospel Rhythms.
All right,
Keep it
that's
real.
right. That's because we're gonna rhythm and flow with the reality.
That's right.
Of the show. Here we go. I feel like MC Trisha Mann coming on.
Oh,
Trisha
Lord.
Mann-grant in the
Okay.
house. MC. All right, I feel it. I have to stop myself. I got to pull back because y'all can't handle that. All right. So anyway, Pastor Sanchez, we thank you. One of the scriptures I saw that he had up on the screen today was Mark 11. And Mark 11:22, have faith in God. Jesus answered, I tell you the truth, if anyone says to this mountain, go through and throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that what he says will happen, it will be done for him. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. And when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone,
Oh, yeah.
can I back that up?
Say that
If
again.
you hold anything against anyone, forgive him, so that your Father in heaven may forgive your sins.
That's
because
right.
we all have them. We've all fallen short
Every day.
every day, whether it's thoughts or words or even actions. So, you guys, let's not be hypocrites. Let's not say that we need to forgive people and then we don't and expect God to forgive us. All right. So yeah, that was some good stuff.
I was
think
real good.
We all need
I
to hear.
enjoyed it. He's parking in my garage for
Was
real.
he parking back?
Woo, I was
Did
like,
he stop
all right.
the car and turned it off?
He stopped the car, got
Yeah.
out, pumped the brakes, and got out.
I thought so.
I was like,
Yeah.
okay, Reverend, you talking to me right now. I mean, I'm so gracious to God because, the more successful you get, the higher the level, the bigger the devil. And you have to deal with things that you never thought you would have to deal with, whether it comes from friends and family or associates. And I've had to deal with some things here recently that just shocked me. Just completely shocked me. But nevertheless, God continues to show me that light. He talked about that light today and how God illuminates. And when God illuminates that, what you have going, it takes you to a place where you don't have to even wallow in that dirt or that grass. You can just rise above it and keep moving. And that's where I'm at. Because I know whose I am and I know who's giving me the gifts that I have. I know who's giving me the blessings. So,
all right. All right, Pastor.
well, now,
Come on now.
wait a
Well,
minute now.
I love it. And he also said, work the word.
Work
the word.
Uh-huh.
So the word is just the word until we work it with
That's
our
right.
faith.
That's right.
So it can't activate unless we put it to activation,
That's
right?
right.
By our
That's right.
belief. And
That's
that's easier said than done. Especially me. Lord knows I've been through that many times. It's like you gotta keep on practicing. We gotta practice having faith. So anyway, we're gonna go to break. I miss my girl, but I'm enjoying my hubby
Hey,
here.
now, yeah,
all right,
bro.
Team Grant.
Huh?
Don't leave me hanging. Yay! All right, what was that, baby? What was that?
That was
all right. There we
the-
go. That's better.
the high
All
pinky.
right, that was Team
Yeah.
Grant. Yeah, that was the pinky thing. Mine done broken off. Nails just breaking everywhere. Okay, so anyway, but Eric, I want to thank you for being here with us today. All right, Ro, we love you, girl. Mwah, that's my soror. Oop, love
Ro,
you. And
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas
Ro.
Cowboys.
Cowboys.
I am Trisha Mann Grant.
And I am Tony Grant.
And we are the Grants. We'll be right back with Gospel Rhythms LA Talk Live.
Like Marvin Gaye, can't you see what's going on? Through it all, gospel rhythm still going strong. Trusting God when it's good or when it's going wrong. Encourage other believers to keep holding on. Casting the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail.
Clothes ain't all fancy, and my car ain't brand new, but there is joy in my house.
Hello, I'm Joel Ramirez
And I'm Lolita Robinson Coppage, and welcome to Joy in My House
on LATalkLive.com. Inspirational radio,
with a touch of recovery.
a reality show where nothing is left unsaid,
And no one is insignificant who says it.
exclusively on LATalkLive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV.
Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, I'm Ro Williams, and I would like to invite you to join GospelRhythms.com live
every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For our new show, Gospel Rhythms Talk Live, join us as we celebrate, promote, and elevate Christians in entertainment. So don't forget to tune in to Gospel Rhythms Talk Live exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio under R&B or watch us on Ustream.tv. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is Gospel Rhythms on LA Talk Live, where we don't just talk about it, we are about it.
Rhythms.
Oh, wait. All right.
Gospel rhythms.
All right.
Say what?
Wait.
Come on, TG.
What?
Yes.
You was a rapper now. My baby's a rapper, y'all. Y'all ain't even ready. Y'all ain't even know.
They ain't ready, baby. They ain't ready.
I didn't know either.
I'm trying to tell. Oh, you didn't know?
This is brand new
now
to me.
You know.
I love it.
All right, so listen, this young man in the studio with us today has so much he wants to share with you. In fact, I wish we had an extra hour. But without further ado, I'm going to need you to work with me, Mr. Grant. Introducing the wonderful, the phenomenal Mr. Tyrone Dubois.
The publicist got in on it, so it worked out real good.
You get on in that microphone, Tyrone. You know what to do.
I know what to do.
You're a professional.
Well, they say I'm a professional. Not sure, but that's what they're saying, so it's kind of cool with me. That's the vicious rumor, but that's...
Is that the vicious rumor? I'm going to move it up a little bit for you.
Okay. Let me begin by saying, first of all, thank you so much for inviting me. I love the concept here. I enjoy the show, and please forgive your wife. She found my,
your bio.
She
You're
found
still
my
on
bio.
that? That hurt your feelings.
It did.
Huh?
I should have texted you.
Yeah.
I should have texted you.
I'll
tell you
just,
about it.
you know.
All right.
I'll text you about it.
Yeah, you might as well just tell everybody. Since we're talking about it on the air in front of the world. See, what had happened was he sent me a bio sometime back in March. So we happened to run into him at the home restaurant the other night. Well, one of those nights where Robbie Reed was being honored and all the beautiful women.
I said, Trish, did you get my Trish, you got my press kit? Oh.
Oh wow, that was not what I did.
Just have 10,000. I looked. That's why I looked at you. That's why I was like,
I said, just have 10,000 emails. No, I just have 52,000. That's all. It's really 52.
Okay.
But I didn't give you a number that night. See, I just told you that the other day. Now you putting both stories together.
I'm trying to put them together.
So you trying to throw me under the bus.
Basically, he just put you under the bus. You under the bus.
Yeah, you under.
Yeah, you under.
So bottom line is, I never saw the man's email. Okay, I think I saw it, but I'm not sure. So when he asked me, it's kind of like deer in headlights type of situation. All right. So anyway, I got the bio.
You got it.
The unfortunate part is my partner Ro isn't here, and she usually has it on the computer.
No worries at all.
So we're going to keep it
Grateful to
real
be
with
here.
all you
Absolutely.
guys out there. I do not have Tyrone Dubois' bio in front of me.
What the amazing
But-
part about it is, even though you don't have the bio, I can see and sense and feel that this man is a man that is blessed by God. So when a man is blessed by God, he got a lot to say because too much is given, much is required. Come on, somebody.
Come on, somebody.
I felt that.
Y'all felt that too.
Huh?
That was good. See, he's good. He's
is
trying to pull me out from under that left.
I'm getting you out from under the bus, baby.
It's not warm under there. The bus is not warm. You gotta get her out of there.
Well, let's talk about the fact that you just did the LA Web Fest. You just won awards
yeah, I
on
did. It
there.
was for,
Michael
outstanding-
Ajakwe's
yeah.
LA Web Fest. Michael Ajakwe, hi, by the way. It's been a minute.
Hey,
we
brother.
love you. Congratulations again for another successful year of the LA Web Fest, which you won for which show?
For outstanding host. And what I did was, doing the unsung episodes, I got an idea, particularly when you do R&B trivia. I wanted to do a webisode series based on R&B trivia, and so I did about 4 or 5 different segues. And I said, well, let me just see if I can make this work and see, how it would go. And pleasantly and just gratefully surprised, I won for an outstanding host in a web series, and it was awesome for me. It's one of the biggest days of my life. It really
Wow.
was.
Fantastic.
Congratulations. And I know that Veneric has some pictures, and I'm sure he's probably throwing them up as we speak, because you've got a million pictures with all the different celebrities. You even Kim Whitley, you're doing working with her right now.
I worked for years ago, until recently. I actually worked for her for 5 years, and it's interesting. When you work for people, it prepares you for the next level. You
That's
don't really
right.
know it right away, but
That's right.
as time goes on, and working for Kim was really good for me because she was very direct, but she knew her things. She knew exactly what she wanted, and you had to fall in line, and it was good for me because it narrows the scope of what you have to do for yourself.
That's right.
And I credit Kim actually for really getting me there. She, unknowing to her, she got me there, and it worked out great. Love
That's
Kim. She's
wonderful.
Yeah. We know Kim Willis. Very, very
Yeah.
good woman. We know her very
she's
well.
awesome.
Very
so
funny.
talented.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you were at the NAACP,
I was.
where I went up with Carl Gilliard
did.
and Tammy Townsend.
Yes.
And Kim was the host.
Yes.
Of it's so many NAACP things, and Lord knows I love Tia and Ron. They are awesome.
Yes.
In fact, they just gave
They
me
just-
an award.
yeah,
They
I was
just
gonna say,
presented me
just
an
you with
award.
one, yeah.
And in case people don't know, they are the head folks of the
Yes, they are.
NAACP chapter out here
Yeah.
for Hollywood.
That's beautiful.
Right? And so
How'd you feel?
I felt wonderful. But back to Kim, she was she
was
was
great.
so good.
She is, and you know what's interesting with her? It's effortless. You know, that's really how she is. And I remember there were many times working with her that I know I screwed up, and it's like, man, I better call her and let her know now. And you'd be amazed how many times I got chewed out, and many times she said, "That's okay. You know, we'll just work it this way." But it was great for me. It was a great learning experience, and I needed that.
Yeah.
And if you're in this business in any capacity, when you're dealing with someone from an A-list standpoint, you know, it teaches you a lot.
That's
and it humbles you a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, truly it
does.
does. Definitely. Let's talk about Unsung, because Unsung is very popular and it's such a great show.
Yeah, the biggest. I mean, you know, I started, you know, with my radio show in the small internet stations, and now, you know, it's the fastest growing R&B old school countdown show in America right now, and so it worked out. You know, that worked out really well. So I was with Michael Jacque, wanted me to do a hosting of an episode of something that he had going on. It was his event. He did Sly and the Family Stone, and I'm sitting next to this gentleman, and he's asking, I wonder if Sly had any platinum singles, and you know, during his reign. I said, no, he didn't, but he had the number 24. You know, I'm going through trivia, and he goes, well, how do you know that? And he's going through his phone. I said, oh, I do the show. He goes, well, who had the first platinum single? And I said, oh, it's Johnny Taylor, Disco Lady, 1975. So he checks his phone and goes, well, who was? I was like, don't waste your time. It was Kiss and Say Goodbye to Manhattans.
Wow.
And he said, well, how do you know? I'm telling him about my show, and unknowing to me, I didn't know who I was, you know, sitting next to.
Right,
The
right.
executive producer of Unsung. And he asked me to come on, and so I began with the Midnight Star one, and then, you know, I did the ones for CeCe Peniston,
Yeah.
High Five,
Yeah.
and I did the
I
ones
remember.
for the Manhattans, the Shy Lights, and it was Martha Wash, which was probably one of the best ones I did. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, you got to go on. You got to get with As Yet then.
Oh yeah,
You know, he was in that
Get
show.
the group.
As Yet?
Yeah, you got to get with us then. Unsung.
That's right. No, really, because they had some great
Well,
songs.
yeah. I mean,
I'm
they
not
did.
just saying that
No,
because
that's
he's my
that's your-
husband.
Now you can go and
You
sing.
know what I'm saying? I like
Don't
that.
say it, 'cause
Do
it's
that
like-
again, because he's my
Yeah,
Yeah, you can say it.
You like that? I like that, Tanya. Tanya's
They
in
had
the
some great
studio with
songs,
us, by the way.
actually.
Yeah,
They
okay.
did have some great songs.
All right, they did. So we'll talk about
we will
that.
talk.
We know Michael.
You know Michael.
Where's my
Absolutely, you know
camera?
Michael.
There it is. Hi, Michael Jacque.
Great guy,
Gonna talk
and I've learned
to
a
you.
lot. You
Yeah,
know,
no, he
you know,
is.
it's
He's
interesting. You never
talented.
know who crosses your path in different areas of your life. But you know, I met this guy a couple of years ago. He said, Jerome, you never play my songs on your show. And I said, well, what's your name? He said, well, my name is Sugar Free. I said, Sugar
Wow.
Free? Never heard of him. I'd never heard of him before. But it was what he wrote on the CD. He said, I'm going to give you my CD. But it was what he wrote on the back of the CD that really got me here. And he wrote to Tyrone, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And when he wrote that, in my mind, it was like this rallying cry for me. Just so the answer for me was always yes. If people said, you know, you have a press kit, yes. If you have a website, you know, yes. The answer was always yes, and it got me here. I never said no, and that, you know, it helped me to get to where, you know, I was today. It really did.
Yeah.
And
So
I
how do
needed
you
that.
stay ready? How do you stay ready, Tyrone?
Well, there's
Dubois?
three things for me. You know, for me it's faith. You know,
Amen. Come
it's-
on, you
it's
preaching to the choir
focus,
now.
And
Yes,
it's
that's
follow
two.
through.
Come
And
on.
that's those things, and
Faith,
you know, you can't
focus.
Focus and follow through.
I really,
Wow.
I had to learn that, and I'm, you know, but it always stayed in the back of my mind. I don't think I always practiced it as much as I needed to, but I think as time went on, I really began to recognize that got me here. You know, with keeping your faith and, you know, staying
That's
focused.
right.
You know, we can get, you know, off track so
Yes, we
easily.
can.
And following through, it's a big deal for people.
It's
How many times have you
huge.
done something and you're depending or relying on someone else to do it, and, you know, they don't follow through? And
Exactly.
so for
Disappointing.
me, those are
Yeah.
the things that got me here.
You know, that's very real, and
Love
I
it.
think
Love
that
it.
I would have been a lot further had I actually followed through. And I think it was one time my mother said to me, and he's actually said this to me before, "Baby, you gotta finish.
Finish.
You
Gotta
start and
finish.
you had these amazing ideas, but you gotta finish, because I will start and then I'm jumping over here and I'm jumping over there and I'm like, oh, I got another idea."
Yeah.
And is that like
That was
the
that was
ADD
part of my
thing? I don't
biggest
know.
issue. I think part of my problem was I was all over the place. And I think what I had to finally recognize, this guy once at a that I have a lot of respect for, says, Tyrone, what do you do? And I said, well, you know, I do radio, I do television, I do this and that. But then he looked at me in the face and said, but what do you do?
What do you do?
And I didn't have the right, I wasn't going to say it again, but he said, you don't know what you want. He said, but the next time someone asks you that question, you better have an answer.
That's right.
Turned and walked away. And it was, you know how we have these teachable moments or learning lessons when people, you know,
Yes.
that was one for me. And then I recognized, you know, you can do 10 things, but you need to master one.
That's
But
right.
one will get you the 10.
That's
what
right.
I recognized.
Well,
right.
with that amazing hosting voice that you have, you've got the perfect radio voice. Would I be correct if I said
you know,
the radio, the hosting?
Yeah,
is
well, it
what
all
you
it all helped out really well. Actually, I began with doing the Ross commercials when I first started. You know, Ross needed someone to do, you know, their commercials, and I met this guy, and I said, he says, do this commercial for me. I said, the Ross after Thanksgiving sale is on now, saving to 75%, and he said, you're the guy. And so that's how it started, you know, and
That's
you know,
great.
and I would drive. I mean, I would sacrifice a lot. You know, I would drive. I had a full-time job. I'd go to Barstow, California on the weekends, and I would, you know, have a regular full-time job. Drive 145 miles to Barstow, and I was on the air from, you know, midnight to 6 a.m. But you know, these are all the things that get you
That's
ready.
sacrifice. Yeah, that's sacrifice.
It's what I was saying, you know, about staying ready,
Yes,
so you
sir.
don't have to get ready. And that's what
right.
I did.
So Tyrone, what do you do?
Well, right now, what's so cool is that I do a syndicated radio show that's one of the top in America right now, and it's based on the top R&B songs in America over the last 6 decades. So we don't reinvent the wheel. It's kind of good.
Yeah.
And it helped me with that because as a kid, I used to listen to Casey Kasem's American Top 40, and that's how I really got started with this. I met him one day, and I was like, oh my God. That's my idol. I said, it's Casey Kasem.
Wow.
And so I walked over to him, Mr. Kasem, my name's Tyrone Dubois. You know, I'm starting this show. It's called Timeless Tracks. I'm telling him all about it. And I said, sir, can I send it to you? And he goes, I'm probably not going to listen to it. He said, but he's telling me to do this, do that. And he's telling me, that's okay. I said, Mr. Kasem, you're the reason I got in the radio. And he said, well, you're going to go far, young man. And he walks by me. So this guy that was next to him gives me his card and said, send it to him. He'll listen. So I sent it to him. 2 weeks later, I get this phone call. Is this Tyrone? You know, Casey Kasem's voices.
Of course, second to none.
I said, yes, sir. This is Casey Kasem. He says, didn't I tell you not to send me that radio show? And I was like, yes, sir. Mr. Kasem, look, I'm really sorry. I said, I was just overzealous. I went, look, you're my idol. I idoled you, and the next thing out of his mouth. Now I got to show you how to do it right. He says, come on over to my house and. Oh my God! It was like the thrill. I had this raggedy car, guys. I must have wiped it down, spray painted it. Tony, I mean, literally, I wanted this car. I had like I even put like a little extra tint on the back.
Yes, sir.
Didn't change the fact that it was like 3.5 wheels. It was a horrible car, but it was the opportunity to meet with a mentor. Just I mean, someone who was my idol, and he told me that. Focus
and follow through.
Come on.
By the way, I parked the car around the corner.
I don't think he
not
cared.
Gonna let that guy, I was just not going to let that guy see that car like that. Not that one.
We've all had that
Yes,
car.
we
Yes,
have.
we have.
Yes,
we
we
all
have.
have.
Yes, we have.
Putting down the street, you don't know if you're going to make it to your destination.
Yeah.
I was
We've
on the
been there.
bus. I did.
Yeah, so we've all
on the
been
bus
there.
and made it on in.
Yeah, we've all been there.
So what did he teach you? What was it that you needed to change about your show?
Well, what I had to learn was when you're doing trivia, I'm not reinventing the wheel. So if I'm doing the past, 6 decades, I look in the national magazine charts, find out where the song's placed. As Yet placed, for example, at number 4 with.
That's right. Last night.
I remember that. That's right.
Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
I knew
He
that.
was amazing.
And so, I'd do a little history about the artist. I'd look it up and do a little trivia about it, and then I'd place it based on, like the song at number 10 could be The Temptations, 1966. Song at number 8 could be Keith Sweat, 1988. Song at number 5 could be Al Green. In other words, so you're getting 6 different decades in a song, in a show, and so that's what he kind of taught me. To do. But what you have to learn is what I liked about Casey Kasem was that he was telling a story, and I never wanted to miss the story. When I would listen to him in Cincinnati, it's like, oh, I can't leave yet because these commercials. He's going to tell me, coming up, the story about this person, and I want to know who it was, and they told you when they ranked, and it was just a big part of my life. You don't know that then as you're going on, but that was a big part of my life, very important part of my life.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow, it's beautiful.
Let's fast forward to 5 years from now. Where do you see yourself?
Well, the goal right now is, what's unique is that I don't want to do 10 things, but what I had to learn is that I needed to convert myself from being a person who does radio and television to becoming an R&B historian, because ultimately that is where my key is right now, because I know the charts like the back of my hand. I know all of those things, and that's what what's really important. And of all people, Denise Williams put me to the test last week when I was at the LA Web Fest, and she said, "What do you know about me?" And I was like, "Well, you had the second #1 song in America from an R&B singer, from a soundtrack." I said the first was "Endless Love" in 1980. "Let's Hear It for the Boys," 17 weeks at #1. She goes, "I didn't know that." I went.
She said, "I didn't know that." She is such a sweetheart.
She is a sweetheart.
Amazing.
So I think I wanted to convert myself from being I actually knew the pop charts, better than I knew the R&B charts. Yes. So I had to do I had to learn. You listen to it all the time, but Casey only did the pop charts. That's when you listen. So I really had to learn. So what I became was, I considered an R&B historian, because we are losing our R&B. The last R&B group actually for men was Boyz II Men in the 90s. That was it. Right. And there have not been any major R&B groups since. That's right. And so for me, I think that's a very important historical legacy about, just not R&B, but just for African American people all along.
Well, I'm bringing it back.
I was about to say, did you know that Tony Grant has an album coming out called Access Grant? You like the way I slid that in there?
Yeah, I like the way you
that was
slid
pretty good.
Slide on in, baby. Slide on in, baby. Let them know. Let them know.
A shameless plug.
Let them know, baby.
Shameless
It was shameless. I like it.
I'll get that to you.
Yeah, is that pretty good? High five.
Come on. High five.
Team Grant. All right, and he also had an album out called Grant Life, right, back?
Grant Life, back in 2006.
Great song. So anyway, look out for that.
I will.
Because somehow, you're going to have to,
talk.
Right. You guys will get together. All right, let's segue a little bit to a testimony, a situation that you dealt with a lot of people out there are going through with family members or even themselves individually. You had cancer.
Yeah. What's interesting about that is that I had no symptoms, had no reason to believe anything was wrong. And someone said, you need to go and get a checkup. And I'm like, oh, I'm fine. I don't need any checkup.
That's men. That's what we do.
And it's just nagging and nagging. Finally, let me just go. Just shut them up. And sure enough, I had colon cancer. Wow. And so the doctor, he put up like 6. He did this. And I said, well, what does that mean? And he said, you could have 6 years. You can have 6 months. He says, I don't know. And so he says, so we have to operate right away. And operate right away means a month from now. And so I'm walking around not knowing if I'm going to live. Right. I'd walk around and I'd see people, and this is the last time I'm going to see this person. I didn't say anything, but in my mind I'm thinking, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it, and you go through all of these emotions, when you do this. So, I had the surgery, and one of the things that I don't talk about very often, but it was after the surgery and everybody had went home, and I was in the bed, and everybody was gone, and I kind of woke up incoherent, you're on here and these people here, and so a lady walks in, and she said, and I said to her, am I going to live? I mean, am I okay? Everybody's, of course, they knew everything before I didn't. And she said, God's going to give you another chance.
Amen. And
so she said, so I'm going to pray with you right now. It's in the room alone. And it's so weird. It's like when I think about this, it just feels I always think about this. So she came to the right side of the bed. I remember this really well. She came to the right side of the bed, and I can't tell you what she said because she was praying. So someone was about to walk in the room, guys, and she told them, "Don't come in here right now. We're praying." So she said, it was the things that I remembered the most. She said, "Okay, so now you got this second chance at life." She said, "So you don't want to waste it." I can tell you, this was maybe 3 years ago. I can tell you, I must have went back at the Little Company of Mary Hospital to thank this woman. I never saw her again. I tell them, oh, this lady, I know she was here. I think she was Hispanic, and I go over there. Oh no, this lady. Oh no, we don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
I got
Never saw her
goosebumps
again.
from that.
Never saw her again. But that second chance of life, in my mind, because that's what I got, a second chance. So, you know, I learned to focus on who's here and not who wasn't. You know, who's supposed to be in my life, who isn't. You know, if you don't waste the time. You know, I don't give full-time life to part-time people.
I heard
anymore.
that. Yes, sir.
I got it. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
Sometimes
Say
you
that
recognize
again.
it doesn't matter whether it was family or
Yes.
friends. It just doesn't matter anymore.
Yes.
At this point in my
Yes.
life, I recognize that this is it for me.
Yeah.
And so I learned to start. You know, I was asking for forgiveness from people, and you know, I was kind of being a little hypocritical. You know, because you know, I wasn't giving it to others, and so I had to kind of learn slowly. That I needed to be able to give what I was asking for from others.
Yes.
And that took a little time. And I didn't realize this was gospel. And it's so ironic. Maybe it was meant for me to have this today. But I didn't know that at that point. But as time went on, I began to recognize there were so many things that I learned not to deal with anymore. If anybody recognized that life was too short, I got it.
Yes, sir.
I got it. And
Yes.
so I don't want to waste my time anymore with people who just don't want to be around
Yes.
anymore. You know,
Yes.
when you fight for your life,
Yes.
you just don't fight to keep people here anymore.
That's
Yes.
right. That's
So
right.
I've
We,
learned that.
that's what we were
You
talking
know?
about at the top of the show. The
I
dead
got it.
things.
Yeah, I got
letting
it.
it go.
And it took some time to
Right.
get there, but
I just had my eye opening last week.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. I wasn't, you know, I didn't have any doctors to tell me I had cancer or anything of that nature, but I had the Holy Spirit to break it down for me.
Yeah.
You know, in my spirit, that everybody that you want in your life, or everybody that's been in your life, that's not what I have for you.
Right.
I'm trying to take you somewhere else, and you trying to save the world. You trying to take
Right.
them with you and have them attached to you,
Yeah.
because you, in the name of, I want to help them. But sometimes helping them gets in the way.
yes.
And when you get in the way of God's task, and you know, he said he's a jealous God.
Yeah.
You know, so he'll have to move you or move them to get what he wants from you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I understand totally. You know, I really had to get that.
Yeah.
At some point, I began to realize I'm fighting to keep people, in a place where they just don't want to be, or they don't want to help themselves.
That's right.
And I began to recognize I'm wasting valuable
Yes.
time with people who are not focused on their own lives. I'm focused more on it. You know, it's like what
On
the
their
doctor
thing.
told
Yeah.
me,
Yes.
you know, after I had the cancer surgery, and it's ironic you say that. You know, after I had the surgery, he said, no beef for you, until, you know, for 6 months. I had, and it's like, whatever. So I went and got something, got a blood test. He said, you had some beef.
Wow.
He said, and he got angry. He went, go outside, look to the door. I want you to look on the right side. And the place was full of people. And I opened up the door, and I looked to the right, and there were some people there, and there was a woman there who was pregnant, and a guy who was rubbing her stomach. He yells out, get back in here. So I get back in there, and I've had the same doctor for over 25 years. So, did you see the lady who was pregnant, Tyrone? And I said, yeah. She didn't listen either. I'm just trying to save her baby before she dies. He says, I'm not going to tell you again. You're either going to listen to me, or we're wasting our time. And he says, out. And right before I get to the door, he said, hey, if it means more to me than it does to you,
I know that's
you
right.
wasting my
Yes,
time.
sir.
He told me.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And it was big, you know.
That's beautiful.
And sometimes you have to have these people who punch you in the
Wake
face
up.
with
That's tough
wake-up
love. That's
calls
tough
We
love.
talked
and-
about
yeah.
that earlier.
Tough love.
Casting your pearls to swine, basically, is what the
Yeah.
word says.
Yeah.
You know, when we are wasting our time with certain people and situations.
And I got it. And so, you know, as time goes on, and even in your teachable moments and all of our teachable moments, eventually you'll begin to recognize who's supposed to be here
Yes.
and who isn't. And it doesn't matter at this point in my life, whether it's friends or family, I'm okay with it.
Yes.
I'm okay
Yes,
with it.
sir.
I think
Yes.
I got it. You know, it took a
Yes.
while. You know, I'd sit around and figure out, well, why? And I'm thinking, why am I wasting all my time wondering why these people? It really doesn't matter.
Yes.
Everything that you do right, it really doesn't matter. It, you know, and someone put on my Facebook page today, you know, 100 people, you know, you might like peaches. There'll be a whole bunch of you, but there's going to be a few people who just simply don't like peaches.
That's right. That's right.
True.
Speaking of
Very true.
Facebook, you did just put up a post the other day, but before we get to that, because I'm going to ask you about that. Let me ask you, what year did this happen with the cancer?
2011.
2011.
And, you know, for
okay.
me, it's ironic because one of the things that, you know, since that happened, you know, was during Christmas time. And so, although I do kind of get gifts every once in a while, the truth of the matter is I really don't accept, I give, just don't
It's hard to
accept gifts
accept it.
anymore because
Yeah.
not much. Because ultimately, in my mind, I got my life back, and no gift is
can't-
bigger than that.
Ooh,
and so in
that's
my mind,
that's
it's
good
like I
stuff.
just really don't need anything
That's
anymore.
good stuff.
You know, so God's placed a lot of people in my life who's helped me. God knows if I hadn't have found this publicist and a social media person and all the people and the right components that got me here, I wouldn't be here.
Wow.
So you have to be kind of ready for what comes to you.
Yes.
I think a lot of times that was probably, I think one of the biggest things I learned was simply being able to own where I was in life. And I think that was one of the hardest things for me, because that meant I had to be real with me.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
hard.
got to be honest.
That's hard.
You know, it was
That's
it was
the
one of
most
the hardest
difficult.
things I had to do. And you know, but I think once I got that, I was okay.
That's
Because once
when-
I owned it, now no one owns me.
Right. That's when that's funny. My pastor said those exact words
Yeah.
to me this morning. No one owns you.
He sure did.
It took me being homeless and in a car.
Yeah.
To be honest with myself. And once I began to be honest with myself, my life
It
totally
was the beginning of the
Oh,
end
my
of any
goodness.
issues that you had.
Oh,
And
my goodness.
And I think that was part of my issue. I was always putting myself on trial, thinking somehow or another that the verdict was going to change. The truth
Yes.
of the matter is, putting yourself on trial means you're just always going to be guilty, no matter how you look at
That's
it.
exactly
Because
right.
it's not going to change,
Yep.
no matter how you go around it. You're
That's
still going to
right.
have to go around the corner to get across the street. It's all the same.
You know, I got to the place where I said, you know what? Okay, I might as well just be honest. I can't fool God. He knows everything
He
anyway.
knows anyway.
He sure did.
So I might as well just tell him the truth. Okay, Lord, right now I don't feel like talking to you. But it's when the Lord, I remember it so well. I was mad, I was angry, I was hurt, and I was like, God, I just don't feel like praying. I just don't feel like talking to you. And the voice spoke to me and said, that's funny because you're talking to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Talking to
I
me
always
now.
ask people, you know, what value am I going to get at some point? It's never always about them. Sometimes it's okay for it to be about you.
Yeah.
Speaking of change, you changed your diet, which has
I
helped
did.
your situation, help your,
I
your
did.
health.
You know, what's ironic is that it took a while to get here. You know, I asked him, you know, was there something in which I was doing? I haven't changed it enough. Let me qualify that.
But you don't eat any more beef because that's what the doctor
Well,
said,
I
right?
don't eat. He said at that moment he
Don't
wasn't sure whether, you know, colon cancer was either based. He said generally on genetics
That's what I was
or
going to say.
beef.
Genetics.
Mm.
Yeah.
He said it was one of the two, and he just didn't know at that point. So he said no beef for a while. So I just moderately do it now, you know. But you know what's interesting? He said, you know, 21 days it's out of your system, and kind of true. You know, you don't even, you know, don't want it as much.
Yeah.
You really
is
don't.
true,
So
definitely.
so I kind of changed some of those things, and you know, I kind of work out a little more. You know, I feel better about myself, but I think it was a life change, not just, you know, from that, you know, you think you're invincible and you don't need anything. That was a big life change for me. It's a life change for anybody, but you know, it allowed me, it gave me the realization of just recognizing that I'm just going to have to own up to everything that I was, whether it wasn't
Yeah.
a great dad, whether it was
Yes.
just I did things that weren't right, whether
Yes.
I just at some point I just had to go there. You know?
Yes.
And then, but once I went there, no one could go there with me.
That's right.
And I was good at that. You know?
Yes.
And that's what I learned.
And you've surrounded yourself with great people like Ernest.
Oh my God, Ernest is one of my best friends, and
Yes.
and one of the things I love about Ernest is that he is an American icon, and he doesn't even know it.
Say his full name so everyone knows who
Ernest
you're talking about.
L. Tom. If you ever
Oh,
call his
Ernest.
voicemail, you know, Ernest L.
awesome.
Tom. I'll get with you when I can. And by the way, you owe me a phone call. Dude. You haven't even called me back.
Yeah, and oh, by the way, if someone wants to call in, we have a few minutes left. 323-473-3100 is the number. 323-473. You proud of me, Even Eric? I finally got
You
it.
got it.
Did
I
she-
got it
did she get it?
25 shows later.
25 shows later.
323-473. Someone talk
We're
to me
working
now.
on it. We're working on
3100. We got that number. All right, that's the call-in number if you would like to ask this young man, Tyrone, some questions to say, what's up to Flip?
It's Philip. It's Philip.
They call him Flip on the show. On Love Thy Neighbor. And also we have in the house with us, and we're going to take a break real quick and come back and have her on the air as well. Tanya
We love
is
Tanya.
Tyrone's publicist. Tanya's full
Tough,
name.
too.
Tanya
Yeah.
Carmouche.
Carmen
See, I
Shea.
just wanted her to say it because
Love it.
I knew I was not going to say it right. Carmouche. I got it. Now I have it. All right, because I
tough.
had to hear it.
Tough
Ouch.
publicist.
All right, she's tough. We're going to talk
I
about
might need
that.
to talk to Tanya.
All right, all
I need
right.
a
So
tough
V,
publicist.
we ready? We're going to take a little break. All right, you guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us. We're coming right back, so don't go anywhere. I am Trisha Mann Grant.
And I am Tony Grant, and we
they
are
are
The Grants.
Yes.
I love that.
And you're watching Gospel Rhythms LA Talk Live. We'll be right back.
Like Marvin Gaye. Can't you see what's going on? Through it all, gospel rhythm still going strong. Trusting God when it's good or when it's going wrong. Encourage other believers to keep holding on. Casting the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the brokenhearted. Changing lives with the truth, so let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, life. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and interesting stories. A platform for the kingdom to give God the glory. Worldwide, and we live on the Ustream. What you know about the Gospel Rhythms magazine? But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see what we mean.
Catch the vision.
Okay.
Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth.
We got singers, rappers, spoken word, and actors, and business owners, playwrights, and pastors. There's many gifts to encourage the body. Consider this an invitation, come and kick it and party. We're evolving the way we deliver the gospel. Same message, different method, redefined apostles. And through Christ, we're empowered to shine. Everybody's VIP, ain't no way in the line. GospelRhythms.com. We make the word jam, the beat to which we live. We about to take the land. Let them know about Jesus, the anointed one. Gave us power and authority to get it done. He opens doors, so you don't gotta kick them down. I wrote this to remind you, so stick around. For heaven party here on earth. Praise God always, and we keeping them first.
Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth, make it play. Gospel rhythms. Catch the vision. Heaven's party. Here on earth. Gospel rhythms, we make the word jam. It's what we live to
The
do.
word, music, entertainment, life. Tune in, it'll make you feel alright.
Gospel rhythms, we make the word jam. It's what we live to do.
Hi, this is Marsha Waiteka, inviting you to join me every Monday at 1 p.m. for Born to Talk, where conversation plus connections equal community. Starting Monday, April the 13th, be sure to tune in to Born to Talk with Marsha Waiteka, Mondays at 1 p.m. Pacific, exclusively on latalklive.com. You can also listen live at iTunes Radio R&B, TuneIn Radio, Radio Flag, Live 365, or AHA Radio. This is Reality Radio, handcrafted for your listening and viewing pleasure. We are LA Talk Live, and we are born to talk.
All right. Trisha and Tony Grant here with
Yes.
Gospel Rhythms. We are back with Tyrone Dubois.
I just recognize that there's 4 T's right now at the
Four
table.
T's.
Yeah,
Tyrone,
Trisha,
Tony, Tyrone, and Tanya.
Tanya.
There it is.
Speaking of Tanya, that was a good segue. You're good. Come on, give me some.
Give me a high
I
five.
see how you slid that in.
Slid that in.
Hey, we're gonna get this right. What's happening today? The hand coordination is off today. What's going on?
It's Tony.
What's,
That's Tony.
okay, I need to
can't
work on
help
that. Tanya. Hello.
Carmouche.
Yes, I knew that. I was just testing you, girl. I was trying to see if you
She
knew
were on
what
that.
your last name was. All right. All right, so he refers to you as a tough publicist. And with his busy schedule, because he's all over the place doing everything all the time, how is that for you? What's it like working with this man?
It is awesome working with Tyrone. I am truly blessed with all of my clients. Beginning, I started grabbing people, and then I got tired. And then, like you guys were saying, I was doing more for them than they wanted for themselves.
Wow.
And so I took a step back, and God just started bringing clients to me, bringing the right ones in my life. And with Tyrone, we actually met on my birthday. He was standing outside, and I was waiting on another client. And we just started talking, and things took off. And so it's awesome working with Tyrone. I love
That's
people who
wonderful.
like working.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
I think we girl.
we
You
need
like to work,
talk.
Mr. Grant?
What?
I really like to work.
Oh, you know I enjoy myself.
That's right. When's your birthday?
November 21st.
Hello, November baby. November 3rd.
Nice.
Yes. All right. See, November.
October 22nd. See, come on with it. See,
October,
there it
May. Y'all, sorry. November.
November.
We rule here.
November. October's the best month. It's Cowboy month.
Oh, Lord. Ro is watching, honey. She can't take it. It's too much. She already don't feel good. So don't
Ro,
do that to her. Okay?
Look, Ro,
Please,
look,
don't do
boot
that to Ro.
camp is working for you.
Ro, I got you, sis. I got you.
No, baby, don't be a background singer. Come on,
All right,
sing
I'm
me.
not going to be a background singer. I was trying to, give some love to my sick partner over there.
Aw.
Okay, so you have been a publicist for how long?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
What's the
hungry
most?
then, that's
What's the most challenging thing that you've had to deal with in those 5 years?
Again, like I said, in the beginning, having clients who just didn't want it, or having these elaborate ideas, not realizing that they're, you have to work your way to the top. You're not going to just
Jump in.
come out and sing in Mama's backyard and go to the Grammys next year.
That's
It
real.
doesn't work that way.
You're exactly
Right.
So you have
Yeah.
to take baby steps.
Right. Is when you watch American Idol or The Voice, there's some people on there that they don't get it. They don't get that they really don't have that gift, that talent, that thing. So you have to be honest with them in a good way. We have a caller. All right, we're gonna talk to our caller. Welcome to Gospel Rhythms. This is Trisha. No, did you
Hung
hang up?
up.
Why would y'all hang up on me? I'm feeling some type of
Like
way
a bill
about
collector.
that.
What is
Call
that
us
thing.
back.
I wanted to just focus on something real quickly that we talked about during the break. I was telling him that one of the, biggest influences on my life was the movie Rocky, and it was obviously, a movie where a guy had a chance to, win the heavyweight title of the world against, he was just considered a nobody, and although he lost, it was a fight that it was something. The fact that he kept going on and on, no matter what. And I remember seeing that when I was a teenager. I was with someone, and I remember them saying, "Oh my God, he keeps getting beat up." But I remember distinctly saying, "But he didn't quit."
That's right.
And that's
That's right.
made a big influence on my life to the point to where I that movie was a big inspiration on the way in which I've tried to live.
Yes.
Because it told me never to quit.
Yeah.
And it meant something. That movie really meant something to me.
My eye-opening person was Michael Jordan. I watched him in college. I used to drive up to Chapel Hill and watch him play ball. And in the beginning, he was not good.
Yeah.
But he just kept working at it. He never quit and became the world's greatest basketball player. So,
But all people, all of us, in no matter what profession in which we do, for Tanya, it was important, that we find the right people at the right time to get us in the right places
Yes.
when we're ready.
So you encourage them not to quit, just to take it in baby steps and be smart. Okay, we do have a caller on the air, Tanya. Hello, this is Trisha. How are you? And please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, Trish, it's Faye.
Hey, Faye, how are you?
I'm fine, honey. And I'm adding another tea to the mix.
Tea.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
My
love
battery's getting ready to go. But I wanted to call Tyrone and just thank him publicly. Tyrone, you have no idea. Our words have power. And a real quick story. A couple of years ago, I did one of Tyrone's comedy shows. I bombed really badly. He was so encouraging after the show. And I just want to publicly thank you, because I could have easily walked off that stage and never walked back on another one. But because of your words, I got back up and I tried again, and I continue to do it, and I continue to do it.
Wow.
So thank you, Tyrone.
Yay.
Thank
That's
you
wonderful.
so
Yes.
Faye,
very
thank you
much.
very much. What a sweetheart.
That
I love
is
Faye.
great.
Yes.
Someone gave me a chance, and I think one of the things in which I've learned in my journey is just to say yes. And I think that it's so much easier to say yes than it is no. No requires a lot of thought.
That's right.
Yes doesn't. And I think that's what I've learned. And Tipe, you are an absolute sweetheart. I remember that. And I just told her, she said, I need to get up again. I went, well, the answer is yes. Yeah, it means you're just going to have to do that. And I remember that. And, but I believe in everyone that way. I just believe everybody deserves the chance.
Yes,
And,
definitely.
you're going to have to make the most out of it. And that's what we've all done.
And I believe that's why your career is on the trajectory that it's on, because we reap what we sow.
Amen.
And you've sown so much good quality seed into so many people. So it's your time to shine. And congratulations on everything. My battery is going. Gospel Rhythms, Road Trish, Tony, love y'all. Bye.
Love you, sweetie. Be blessed. Bye.
What a sweetheart. You know, there are some days, someone asked me a couple of days, I think it was on the red carpet a few weeks ago, Tyrone, did you ever think that things were going to go well for you like this? And, you know, I kind of vacillate back and forth. Oh, you know, you're a celebrity now. And, you know, I really, it's kind of, you know, there's some days, you know, I'm in the, you know, I'll go like, yeah, you know, I finally made it. And then there's other days I go, what the heck am I doing? Are you serious?
Yes, I do the
you know,
same
but
thing.
part of the thing is ultimately being able to embrace it. And I'll be honest, that's probably one of the things that has been my struggle. You know, being able to embrace that others see you in a different
celebrity.
light. And so I'm being with Ernest has helped me a great deal, because he's always kind to people. I've learned, you know, working with Kim, you work with one extreme, somebody who was tough but fair and knew her craft well, and that's how she got there. And that's what I love about Kim. Working with Ernest, you know, his route is different, but, you know, working with him, being around him, you know, we've learned a lot. I've learned a lot.
Right, and Ernest was on What's Happening and What's Happening Now, because they had the other spinoff of it. And I can tell you this, that man is so humble.
It's a class act.
He's a
Absolute
true class act.
We just
and
try to
just
drive
heart.
her crazy on the red carpet because she doesn't like us. We pull out our video camera and we do a diary. And,
I was part of
it.
I put a comment on it today to bring it back up on the feed.
Yeah, she was part of the diary. And it was a black tie event. And Ernest decides to wear a black tie.
Ernest was funny. I love it.
Wow.
And you made a picture, and I had on purple.
And she had on purple. But
I was doing the red carpet.
Yeah, you did. You look very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
I know you was beautiful, baby.
You sure know what to say, and you sure know what to say.
You know, I want to piggyback off of what you said though about the celebrity thing.
And we,
That's
what, we
amazing.
got to wrap up in a hot second too.
Yes,
but
I'm gonna say this in a second.
real quick. Okay.
That celebrity thing for me is because I'm a country boy and I love people. It's hard for me to take that title of celebrity.
Yes.
And I call it the common folk. And people say to me, "Why you still deal with the common folk?" That's because I'm a common folk with a talent that God blessed me with, and somebody gave me a shot.
Bobby Brown said it best to me years ago. He just said, be kind to everybody along the way. On your way down, they're going to remember your kindness.
That's
And you know
right.
what?
That's
With
right.
Bobby, no matter what he's been through,
They still remember
we
Bobby.
Still love
That's
him.
right.
Still do.
and you know, back to that Facebook post you just put up, I didn't forget. You said, can you believe I just found out that there are people out there that don't like me? But then you said something else. You put a message in there. What was your message?
I said, you know, here's the good news. Not that it really matters to me, but you have to learn to be better and not, you know, bitter.
That's right.
You know, and I think
Better
that
and not
ultimately
bitter.
was
I
where,
love it.
you know, I was coming from. Because for me, I
Yeah.
want everybody to succeed.
Yes,
You know,
me too.
I really do. Because I just really never had much of anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
It matters.
It's crazy
Yes.
when people totally misunderstand you. And it's like they choose to think negative. They want to think the wrong thing. No matter what you say or do, they're like, I don't
They just
care.
don't-
This
yeah.
is who you are, and that's what you are, and that's all I'm going to believe.
And I'm
That's
sure
sad.
all of us have had to go through
Oh
that.
my
Tony, I
God.
know you've had
Oh,
to.
yes.
People
Too many
will, you know,
times.
people will generally find out everything that's wrong with you first.
Yes.
Because that requires thinking, and the best thing
Yeah.
for them is negative.
And there's money in it.
Yeah.
There's
It's
money in thinking
There's
negative?
Oh yeah, it's money in it. Because the good stuff we don't want to report.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no money in it.
Wow, guys, I hate to have to wrap this up.
This
And
is great.
Tanya, we didn't get a chance to talk to you long.
We love
It was
Tanya.
my
To
pleasure.
talk
But-
about
but-
this.
From being here, I
It's-
enjoyed myself.
Thank
Listen,
you.
if
She
someone
loves
needs
us.
a publicist,
I do.
how can they reach you? Like my husband.
Nod, nod, wink, wink.
Through my website, which is www.tcpr4u.com. And there's my phone number and email.
And you say
Call
she's
me.
tough. She seems like a sweetie pie. What's your website and all
Our
that
website
stuff?
is www.timeless.com.
Okay, Tony Grant.
Yes, you can hit me on Facebook. You can hit me on Facebook at Tony Grant. You can hit me on Instagram at tgrant621. You can hit me on Twitter at Tony Grant Life. I'm very easily found.
Yes,
We'll
he
find you,
is.
know.
Just Google him. Google him. Google him. That's what we say.
And you can see me. You can see me every Wednesday night on the OWN network. Tyler Perry's hit sitcom. God has blessed us so well.
Yes.
Love Thy Neighbor. I'm excited about that. A couple of movies coming up.
Yes.
The album
The Last
Access,
Punch.
The Last Punch, Access Granted, the album.
Yeah.
I'm really, really excited about the album because I given out the people an opportunity to see the heart of Tony Grant. So
Amen.
God is good.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. And also, I'm on Instagram too. Hit me up at Trisha mann-grant 621. Hit me in a good way.
I mean, in a good way. Yeah, let me qualify. Sorry. Qualify.
You about to? Oh, come on now! Don't get the gospel rhythms beat down right here in front of everybody now. Come on.
Gospel rhythm beat down. That's funny.
Oh boy.
Rosina Williams, we miss you, girl. I love you, sis. And Veneric, thank you so much. I know we got to get out of here, guys. God bless you. Happy Sunday. Remember what we said. Mark 11. Go to it. You all check it out.
Yes.
And get rid of those dead things in your life. Get them out of here and start your life. Move forward and upward in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless. Bye. Oh, I'm Trisha Mann-Grant.
And I'm Tony Grant. And we are
the Grants.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
Like Marvin Gaye, can't you see what's going on? Through it all, gospel rhythm still going strong. Trusting God when it's good or when it's going wrong. Encourage other believers to keep holding on. Catching the vision and we making it plain. We the head, not the tail, so we won't complain. Here to lift up the downcast and the brokenhearted. Changing lives with the truth, so let's get it started. We got the word, music, entertainment, life. You can catch us on the air every Sunday night with special guests, the news, and interesting stories. A platform for the kingdom to give God the glory. Worldwide, and we live on the Ustream. What you know about the Gospel Rhythms magazine? But God's in it, you don't gotta chase dreams. You need to check us out and see.